Don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our 2 newly released books, Football: A Love Story and What Did Football Teach Me? These books feature over 100 stories from current and former coaches, players, executives, and entertainers from across the football landscape, describing what got them involved in the game, what they love about it, and what life lessons the game taught them. You can find your copy or order your copy from our website at footballgameplan.com/books. Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our preview of the 2015 Boca Raton Bowl between the Toledo Rockets and the Temple Owls. Let's start this video off by taking a look at my keys to victory. Starting with Temple in this ball game, the Owls' passing attack has to be effective. They really need those receivers out there on the flanks to make plays consistently throughout this ball game. If they're able to get the passing game going, we know they can run the football. The offense will look a lot better as a whole. And Temple's defensive line will have to win in the trenches. They have to make sure they're stopping the outstanding ground game of the Toledo Rockets, make these guys one-dimensional, and put them in more passing situations than they want to be in. And defensively, it's about winning on first down. It ties right into my second point, making the Rockets beat you throwing the football. If they're able to do that, I think this is a win for Temple. Moving over to the Rockets in this ball game, the biggest matchup I'm interested in watching is wide receiver Alonzo Russell going up against Temple's corner, Tavon Young. We saw Russell do great things all season long from the receiver position, and we saw Tavon Young put wide receiver Will Fuller of Notre Dame in Alcatraz cell block 4. So you want to see Russell win this battle more often than not. That gives Temple a great chance to have a lot of success offensively. And I think they also have to get those backs involved in the passing game. Let's be honest, their 2 best playmakers offensively are their 2 tailbacks, Kareem Hunt and Terry Swanson. And I think they do have a matchup advantage against the Temple linebackers in space. So that's a battle I think they can exploit, or a matchup they can exploit in this ball game. And the Rockets have to get off to an early start. Temple's offense is not one that can come back from a large deficit. If the Rockets start off quick, I think they can have a great chance in knocking off the Owls.
Now this game is going to come down to a rushing type of game. Toledo's going to want to get their 3-headed monster going. That's led by Kareem Hunt and his 894 yards, 10 touchdowns. Terry Swanson, 870 yards, 7 touchdowns. And Damian Jones-Moore, 404 yards and 5 touchdowns. Now, on the other side, the man that's going to be charged with making sure that he stops the run specifically is the Temple do-everything linebacker, Tyler Matakevich. 126 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, 5 interceptions. He does it all. He's everywhere. A lot of people are giving him the comparison to Luke Kuechly. I don't know if he's at that level, but he's definitely somebody that's going to be a first or second day pick come the NFL time. In the end, I just don't know if he's going to be enough to keep Toledo's offense from being able to move the ball on the ground, which will open up opportunities for Philip Ely to hit Temple over the top. I like Toledo to win this one.
Temple is a team that is led by their linebacker, Tyler Matakevich, and Matakevich is actually going to be my X factor. Over 126 tackles on the season, Chuck Bednarik Award winner. So he's definitely a guy that brings it. He's led this team in tackles every single game. The only player in FBS to do that. So he's definitely an X factor. They're going to need him against the run. That's something that Toledo does really well. So they're going to need to get that pursuit of the football that Tyler Matakevich brings. So looking at Toledo, really my X factor for them is going to be their 2 running backs, Kareem Hunt and Terry Swanson. 894 yards for Hunt and 870 for Swanson. But don't forget about their big play guy in Cody Thompson. He's got 21 yards per catch on 33 receptions. So he is a guy that could definitely be a factor in the play action once that running game gets going. End of the day, I do have Temple winning this game. And I think that Matakevich is going to be a really big-time factor. Tavon Young also going against Cody Thompson. But I think P.J. Walker is going to be able to put some drives together and lead this team to a victory. Watched him get things going against Notre Dame, had the bad throw late in that game, but he was able to create some drives with the team, and I think that that's something that he could do this week in this bowl game.
Two teams that have actually had pretty surprising seasons, and at points this year they were ranked in the top 25 of the bowl championship selection. That's Toledo and Temple. Now, for Temple, we know what they do. It's been ground and pound, play good defense, and that has been the formula for success for them. On the offensive side of the ball, Kyle Friend, starting center, is a guy who has made things go on the offensive line. And his running mate, Eric Lofton, offensive guard, has also been helpful, and he should get some looks. And on the defensive side of the ball, Temple is loaded. Tyler Matangovich, the inside linebacker, who will fit perfectly on the next level in the 3-4 scheme, is a tackling machine. Matt Ioannidis keeps him clean on that defensive line, playing quality ball. Alex Wells on the back end is a free safety, cleans up any mess that does happen when a team tries to throw the ball. And pretty much having his own island is Tavon Young, cornerback out of Temple. Now, for Toledo, they have their own defensive stalwarts in Roland Milligan, strong safety, and Cheatham Morris, free safety, and a guy that the Temple defense will try their hardest to stop, Alonzo Russell, wide receiver out of Toledo. In a particular matchup, I think that the tempo will be dictated by Temple, and I think they end up winning this game in a lower scoring one, as they're able to hold that Toledo offense down.
Glenn Scooby Warner, better known as Pop Warner, is a football pioneer and a legend. Warner helped grow the game and was an innovator. He was a successful coach at every stop, which included Georgia, Cornell, Carlisle, Pitt, and Stanford. His final coaching stop was at Temple, where in 1934 he led the Owls to a Sugar Bowl berth, finishing his career with Temple with a 31-18-9 record. Frank Lauderberg coached at Toledo from 1963 to 1970, and Toledo was his first head coaching opportunity, and he definitely made the most of that chance, turning the Rockets into a powerhouse in the late 60s, winning 3 MAC titles, 2 Tangerine Bowls, and posting back-to-back undefeated seasons in 1969 and in 1970. He finished his Rockets career with a 48-32-2 record. The Boca Raton Bowl is only in its second season, so you have to go back to last year's game for a flashback, and it was the Rakeem Cato show as he led his Marshall Thundering Herd over the Northern Illinois Huskies in a 52-23 victory. Cato threw for 281 yards and 3 touchdowns, also had 2 rushing touchdowns en route to being named the game's MVP. I like Temple in this ball game. This is a classic matchup where you have a very good offense in Toledo going up against a very good defense in Temple, and I think the defense will win this ball game for the Owls because I do think they'll be able to stop the run and force Toledo to make plays consistently in the passing game, which is what I don't think they can do. So I look for the Owls to have a lot of success defensively while offensively putting up enough points to win. And as we recap our selections, Gene is the lone wolf in this ball game going with Toledo while we're going with Temple. Should be a great game nonetheless and another outstanding Boca Raton Bowl.